Hello, and welcome to a special edition of the Field and Garden Podcast. I'm Jessi Graven from the Gardener's Workshop, and I'm here to bring you something a little different today. As you may know, we offer an on-demand workshop called the No-Till Micro-Scale Flower Farm with Jonathan and Megan Leiss of Springforth Farm. Jonathan and Megan's workshop offers over 4.5 hours of instruction on their no-till practices and micro-scale farming techniques. When the course was first launched, Lisa Ziegler invited industry professionals to review the course and attend an online panel discussion. Today I have for you an excerpt from that discussion featuring Jennie Love of Love and Fresh Flowers. Jennie is an industry-leading farmer-florist, a flower farmer with a strong interest in regenerative agriculture, a past president of the ASCFG, and a fellow Gardener's Workshop course instructor. We loved hearing her thoughts about this workshop, and I hope you will too. Now, just a heads up that I have a special announcement to make at the end of this episode, so I hope you'll join me for that. But now, please enjoy Jennie Love's review of the No-Till Micro-Scale Flower Farm with Jonathan and Megan Leiss.
So I just want to pause for just a minute. We have some folks that are joining us, and just to let them know what they're in on here. So this is a panel discussion about the online course, the No-Till Micro-Scale Flower Farm by Jonathan and Megan Leiss. My business, The Gardener's Workshop, has produced it, and you can learn more about it at The Gardener's Workshop as well as other courses. And I just wanted to throw out a couple of tidbits about the course. This is what is called an on-demand course, meaning you can purchase it anytime. It's not like one of our schools that you have to wait till a certain time of year and then it's dripped out over a 6-week period. So it's an on-demand course. It's about over, I believe it's 4.5 hours of actual sessions. The course costs $159. And for those folks that aren't familiar with online courses, it's just like buying a book. But instead of picking up the book and reading it, you pick up any device with internet and you go to your login to your online library and log in, and there's all your courses. There's an awesome phone app that comes from our provider, and so you can really watch them on your phone. That's what we've gotten some remarks this week from students saying how great the app is, because they literally, like folding the tarp out in the field, fire up their app and they're standing out in the field like, how do we do that now? So you can find out more about that at thegardenersworkshop.com. And Jonathan and Megan very generously offered to host a closed Facebook group of all the students, which normally we don't do that for on-demand courses. And they are really doing a great job. So it's like a community building where students get access to that if you're a Facebook user. And Jonathan and Megan jump in and out, checking in and trying to answer questions. And so it's just a great community. Jennie, who is the author of the online course, Farmer-Florist School Online, The Wedding Process.
I'm Jennie Love. I am the owner of Love and Fresh Flowers, located in Philadelphia, which is an urban flower farm. We are located right in the center of Philadelphia, about 5 acres in production, and I'm what has been termed a farmer-florist, and have definitely also become a no-till enthusiast in the past 2 years. Have really adopted no-till practices at my farm. Very passionate now about the concept of regenerative agriculture and no-till in that piece of the puzzle, helping to actually heal our earth, not just stop damaging it, but actually heal it. And I believe very strongly that that's a possibility too. And so I'm excited to be part of this panel discussion. It was more holistic than I expected it to be, in a really good way. The title implies it's no-till and micro farming, but then there's so much more to it. It's a very philosophical course in a lot of ways about their life approach and how they've approached farming. I think it's an excellent course for anybody who's just getting started in farming, whether you're interested in no-tilling or no matter what size of scale you want to farm at. I know there's so many new farmers out there, whether flowers or vegetables or whatever. There's a lot of new farmers. And I think this course is phenomenal for just getting a really solid foundation that is somewhat about growing, but it's about so much more than just growing. So for that, I think it gets a huge thumbs up in terms of like, it's a great foundation for thinking about how you want your farm to operate, who it is, especially if you're farming with a partner. I don't farm with my partner. He has a completely different job and we like it that way a lot. So, but I know that I can only imagine trying to do this with somebody else in the boss seat, you know, two people sharing that role. It's probably why it would never work for me. But I think that Jonathan and Megan did an amazing job of articulating how they approach things and how they steer the ship together without having a lot of conflict. So I thought that was fantastic. And then I also really just enjoyed watching their approach to farming. I haven't been to their farm, though I do know Jonathan and Megan through the ASCFG. But then I also just want to put a plug in there for like the great farming knowledge that's also included in the course. And it had like really great nitty gritty bits. And I learned how to fold a silage tarp properly, finally, after many years of using them.
Me too.
It's true.
That was worth every penny alone, just that. I actually showed my crew the video and was like, okay, here's how we fold them now. This is what we're doing. And we watched the video like 3 times so that we can make sure we did it right. So that it's just simple stuff. I mean, it's not simple. It's like fundamental stuff like that, and storage, how to store things. So it was great. It was far more comprehensive than I imagined it was going to be. So yeah, I think it's a great course. What I really liked was they have such a unique approach to their farming strategy in terms of, you know, just spring crops. They've really dialed it in and gotten very, very specific. And I liked hearing that perspective because so much in our industry right now is just like plant everything in massive quantities. Go, 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 go. And I like that they are really dialed in and that they were bold and courageous enough to teach a course that's about dialing in your farm and not giving in to all that pressure of, you know, you have to grow all the things all the time. So I think that is hugely valuable, especially for newer growers, but I think it's really important for established growers like myself to hear that from them, to just, we need to have this kind of message out into the world more than we do currently. So yeah, I learned a lot. It's a new perspective on farming, which I really, really appreciated.
I do have a couple of questions here. One question that I have is from someone asking, this is not on Facebook, is that to really make a living in growing flowers, can no-till really work at that small scale?
And I can chime in and just testify that as a no-till, small-scale flower farmer, this is my full-time job. It has been for 12 years. I support myself entirely off of this. My partner does not give me any income towards my cost of living or anything. I've made enough money doing this to buy a house, to buy a farm, and support 4 employees off of when I was first starting, it was off of 1,600 square feet. Now we're up to 5 acres, but through that whole course of time, fully supported by my small scale farm. I've been doing no-till now for 2 years, and I've noticed the production increase exponentially on my farm because of no-till. And that's twofold. Like Andrew said, I don't need space to drive equipment around anymore. I did have 2 tractors previously. Now I don't use either of them at all. So I started being able to plant into my laneways, which I wasn't able to do before. And then also my spacing within the bed has been able to shrink drastically. So we used to plant at 8 inches, then we planted at 6 inches. Now we plant at 4 inches, 4-inch spacing between plants. And they're thriving. They're utterly thriving. And then also we can flip beds so fast. It's shocking how fast I can flip beds now. So the production, the amount of stems my farm has been able to produce as no-till has been outrageous. Like I'm actually still shocked myself at the exponential increase, which has just ultimately increased income. So I think a small scale farm that's doing no-till actually has tremendous earning potential and can definitely support at least 1 person full time. And I would venture to say you can support an entire crew full time at that rate. So that's my 2 cents.
Okay, welcome back. I have that special announcement ready for you now. Jonathan and Megan have offered to host a live Q&A session on Earth Day. That's Friday, April 22nd, 2022. All students of their workshop are invited to attend, and we hope to see you there. Details will be emailed beforehand to everyone who has purchased the workshop. So now is a great time to purchase the workshop if you haven't already, and dive into the material and get your questions ready for the live Q&A. We have more details available on our website, so you can go to thegardenersworkshop.com and click on online courses and then on-demand workshops, and you'll find it there. Thank you for joining me here for a special episode of the Field and Garden Podcast. I'm Jessi Graven with the Gardener's Workshop, and I hope you have a great day.